Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing amazing. Jamie, give me a check 1, 2 to make sure everything is working okay. So, guys, today is a super important, what I think is a super important revenue opportunity. Today, we're going to be talking about startup revenue for women. And let me tell you why I feel that this conversation is a conversation that must be had, is because women are already behind the 8 ball. If you look at statistics about women and earnings, of course, we're behind on the pay gap when it comes to corporate America. For those of you who don't know who I am, of course, my name is Danielle, Reverend Dr. Danielle Patterson Winningham. I'm a former JP Morgan Chase vice president. I'm a master life and master business coach. And me, just like many of you, was on the flip side of that wage gap where I had people around me who weren't as capable, weren't as knowledgeable, who made more than I made strictly because of gender, racial disparagencies, whatever the case may have been. And so I took it up on myself to start my own business. And that may be where many of you are. You're at that point where you're like, okay, enough's enough. I'm tired of robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I really want to generate my own revenue because I have more control over my own revenue than I do a paycheck. Of course, when you're working a paycheck, the only thing you can control is your hours. But when you start your own business, you have control as to how many clients you can see, how many programs you want to launch, how you want to do business, whether it's locally, regionally, or globally. You have all those choices. And so, with that being said, it's critical that women understand that startup revenue, startup capital, money for you to start your business does exist. We personally just launched in our brand an opportunity for women to get financing up to $25,000 that will not just cover their strategy, which is a lot of people come into coaching, and the mistake that they make is that they get the strategy, but now they don't have the technology to go along with that strategy. So we just offered an opportunity that's not only going to provide you with the strategy to move you to the next level, but also the financing and the technology. If you go to bit.ly/fund me too, the number 2, you'll get an opportunity to put an application in, and my team can tell you exactly what you need, whether it's certifications, technology, or strategy to move you beyond that 100K bump, 250K bump, 500K bump, wherever you may be, into a greater deal of revenue. So, why is startup capital important? When women have more money to work with, they're able to make more money. Let me repeat that. When women have more money to work with, they're able to make more money. Guys, it takes money to make money. One of the reasons Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world, didn't pay any income tax was because every dollar that he made in his business, he turned around and he reinvested it back in his business. We don't all have that luxury. Some of us got, a couple of things we got to take care of every month, like mortgage, rent, children to feed. So it's important that women identify and understand what, not only what sources of revenue that you have available to you, but how much time, energy, and effort are these sources going to take you to obtain this revenue, right? A lot of us think grant money and we think easy, but that's not necessarily the case. And we're totally tuned out as to other sources like angel investors, venture capitalists, business incubators, where we could be going to save some money. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Another reason startup capital is imperative for you is that most women not only fail to scale beyond $50,000 a year, only 4% of women make it to the $1 million in annual earnings mark. I happen to be one of them. It wasn't through a small feat. And some of the lessons that I learned in terms of being able to invest more, and the more you invest, the more you make, are critical, because most women are hesitant to take a risk. But if I could take a risk on my job, and if I could take a risk at the mall and take a risk on a new car, I could definitely take a risk on myself. So if you want to scale, you've got to understand that financing, loans, startup capital, angel investors, venture capitalists, business incubators, all the things we're going to talk about today are relevant to your ability to be able to build a mega business. I'm not talking about building a mom and pop. This may not be for you if you just want to build a little corner store or have a little cool cup, business inside your house. This may not be for you. But if you're someone, and if you haven't shared this broadcast, please share the broadcast with other women because they need to know. If you're someone who wants to build a legacy, if you're someone who wants to generate enough money to leave their job, if you're someone who wants to leave a legacy for their family, then this by all means is definitely for you. So why is a startup capital important? Our job is to change the number of women who have access to startup capital, whether you don't have the best credit or not, right? Whether you don't have the best background or not, whether you're already not earning the money that you should be earning. Each one of these 7 ways that we go over today may limit you in some shape, form, or fashion, right? So it's up to you guys to understand that these 7 ways to get startup capital are critical for your growth. And that for those of you who want to grow your business, to be a legacy, to leave your job, to be able to care for your kids in a manner that you're used to or in a manner that you've never dreamed of, you got to understand startup capital. You've got to understand risk. You've got to understand how to go get this money, and you got to understand what it takes to be able to generate this revenue and what it means to you. So let me go ahead and get started. So our goal is to change the number of women that are able to scale to $1 million. That's our goal. Do I have any millionaires in the house? If I do, say me. Our goal is to change women's understanding of their ability to generate 7 figures. I am a firm believer that anybody with the right strategy and the right environment, and if you are in the United States, you are in the right environment. If you are in a free commerce society, you are in the right environment. I believe that anybody with the right environment is able to generate 7 figures. So we want to add more women to that roster, right? So when you have access to more revenue, you have access to more technology, you have access to better technology, you have greater automation, which keeps you from doing so many things by hand, which means it's not only less work for you, it's also less work for your team, and it's less expensive. When you have access to more revenue, you have access to a better strategy. You get what you pay for. And so if you're out there and the person that you're working with has not ascended to make 7 figures, they can't help you make 7 figures. It's also, when you have access to more revenue, a lot of times it will allow you to budget your household expenses better. So instead of trying to rob Peter to pay Paul to build your business, you have structured payments. You know exactly the amount of monthly investment it's going to cost. And when you're consistently investing in your business, it allows you the ability to leave your job and to live the lifestyle that you want faster than if you try to do it by yourself. Again, when women have access to more revenue, they can do more. And we're super excited to announce the opportunity for women to receive funding from us for up to $25,000. It is a financing that will allow you to take care of your technology, get that strategy that you need, be consistent. We're going to be offering some specials for Black Friday with very low down payments and no payments until January. So this is an opportunity. Don't wait and say, well, I'm going to wait till the new year starts, because you're going to miss the Black Friday special. Go to bit.ly/fund me too, FUND me too, and hear all about your opportunity to be financed into, whether it's your life or business or executive coaching certification, whether it's your passion or spiritual certification, whether it's building an idea that you have. It's critical that you get your name in the hat. So let's talk about 7 ways that you can fund your business. We all know you can use personal capital. That's your savings, that's your 401k, that's your inheritance, that's your side hustle. But let me tell you, as women, we have limits as to the personal capital that we have available. I know me personally, I didn't have it like men have it, where they can make a child support payment or not, and then go on about the business with the rest of their money. Unfortunately, for most women, we're not only the caretakers and the breadwinners, we're also the individual that's making the buying decisions and bringing in the majority of the money for the household. So I didn't have extra, so to speak. Anytime I wanted to do something differently, I had to reposition my finances. In other words, I had to go without. Now, for me personally, it was worth it, because I would not be living this life had I not made some sacrifices. But again, when you know that there are additional sources of revenue and additional sources of funding available, your first choice does not have to be your personal capital. And of everything on this list, the one I subscribe to the most is the side hustle. Because I know if you just go ahead and start to put a price on those things that you're running around doing for free, you will have the money you need to invest in your business. I'm going to repeat that, because for women, it's critical. If you just stop, somebody type stop in the chat for me, please. If you just stop doing those things for free, come on now, stop giving out consultations for free. Stop giving people ideas for free. Stop ripping and running errands for people for free. If you just stop all of those things that you're doing for free, and you put a minimal price tag on the advice and the expertise and the help and the support, what you're going to find is you will have extra money to invest in your business. Again, it may not be enough, but you will have extra money. Let me tell you another thing you will have. If you go ahead and stop, somebody type stop in the chat. If you stop donating your time to corporate America and to things that don't pay you. I was a PTA mom for years. I don't regret it, but I wish I would have done it differently. I wish I would have made my money and then became a PTA mom. That way I would have been able to provide for my kids in college. Just so happened, I got off that corporate bus just in time to be able to pay for my kids' college tuition. Just so happened, I got off that corporate bus in time to retire my mom before she passed away. It just so happened that I was able to wake up. Look at your neighbor and say, wake up. It's not time to sleep. Wake up in time to save my family. So for many of you, I'm encouraging you to wake up to the opportunities. If you stop doing the things for free and turn them into revenue, you will have capital to invest in your businesses. Businesses are like new babies. They bear an investment of your time, energy, effort, and money. If you think you're going to build a business on a shoestring, because so many people claim to have built these shoestring businesses, what they may mean is, Initially, they didn't invest that much because they didn't have that much. But as the earnings in their businesses grew, I am quite sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the investments in their businesses grew as well. Being someone who earns consistently 7 figures a year, I can tell you it's going to take me 200,000 to make a million. It just is. And every woman I talk to that generates more than $1 million a year says that same thing. So the side hustles will help you. So let's talk about personal loans and business loans. I always look at loans like this. Somebody said, how do you begin to charge for giving ideas? I often give others ideas in their business. How do you begin to charge? You start charging. It's not brain surgery, ladies. Like I told y'all yesterday, I'm tough on my clients, and they be mad till them commas start moving. Instead of opening your mouth, and look, I'm not saying this to hurt nobody. I'm saying this to help you. Instead of being so flattered, did everybody share the broadcast? Because somebody needs to hear that this morning. Instead of being so flattered that someone has come to you to seek your advice, you need to see it for what it is. You're giving them information that is going to go on to help them generate revenue. So why you wouldn't generate revenue in the meantime, in the between time? For you to just sit around and give away intellectual property, whether it's relationship advice, whether it's business advice, whether it's health advice, I don't care what it is. If you don't look at it and put a value on it, no one else will put a value on it. So how do you begin charging for giving away ideas? You find a price tag. You put the price tag on it, and nobody says it's going to be the right price tag initially. But number one, at least you're getting something. And number two, the body of work will determine what you charge for in the future. I could charge you $99 to spend a day with you and help you with your business. But after that day is over, I'm going to go home and I'm going to reflect. And I'm going to say, "Moo, boy, she worked the shit out of me for that $99. Can't nobody else pay me $99. I need $999. And then somebody may come along and pay you $999. And you may still go home and say, "Oh, shit. She worked me to death for $999. Next time, it's going to be $1,999. And you're going to go through that same process over and over and over until you feel like you've achieved a balance in the value that you bring to the table and what the client's going to walk away with. I will unabashedly tell you that every year my prices increase for two reasons. Number one, every year my earnings increase. So back when I was giving out 6-figure advice, I charged accordingly. Now that I'm giving out $1 million advice, I charge accordingly. And some of you need to be around a coach who is going to instill in you your value, help you set your prices, and help you understand how to get people to pay it. And there is a how. So guys, if you're interested, go to bit.ly/fundme2. We have financing available up to $25,000. It includes your technology, your strategy, your certifications if you need them. A year worth of mentoring. You can't beat it, guys. Stop trying to figure this out by yourself and doing it for free. So one thing, so Joyce, you should, and I have a business coaching certification that you need. So go to bit.ly/fundme2. They don't need to have a business EIN or registered already, because this is to help you build a business. But here's the thing, you don't know what you don't know. So until you get expert advice, you're going to keep giving away your knowledge for free. So let's talk about the second way to fund businesses, business startups. Personal loans or business loans. They're going to want to know your past history, probably your credit history, They're going to want to know your profit flow. Are you already making money in your business? And they're going to want to know your assets. So here's the crazy thing about banks. Anybody want to know the truth about banks? The truth about a bank is only going to give you money if you don't need it. Somebody go ahead and say, wow. A bank is only going to give you money if you don't need it. Go to a bank. By the time they finish examining you, by the time they finish examining you to see if you're qualified, most people that get money from banks use it because using other people's money and the interest rate on other people's money is more inexpensive than using your own money. It takes money to make money. Rarely will a bank give you money if you really need it. And that's something, guys, if you want to be a business owner, you've got to learn about leveraging other people's money. Don't look at it like a loan. Don't look at it like high interest rate. Look at it like an opportunity for you to learn how to really grow your business to the millions and beyond. But thank you, Dr. Bernice said, so true. You're only going to get revenue from your business for your business if you've got the money to pay it back. You make $100,000 a year and only $25,000 a year worth of debt, they're going to give you a personal loan for your business. You're making $50,000, $100,000 a month in your business, they're going to give you a business loan for your business. But if they don't see a definitive way for you to pay back the revenue, they're not going to give it to you. Guys, I have a brand new book coming out next week called 49 Plus Ways for Women to Get Startup Capital for Their Businesses. I'm going to include this video, but guys, there's so many ways that bootstrapping you doing, not investing in marketing, not investing in strategy, not investing in advertising is not helping you. It's not. And it's going to keep you on the hamster wheel for so long that you start to get tired. Now, we still need to talk about angel investors and venture capitalists and business incubators, but let me get these other ones out of the way. Love investments. Love investments is money borrowed from family and friends. It's typically paid back or not when the business generates revenue. It's considered patient capital because the lender is willing to be patient while waiting on the money to return. Let me give you an example. Your mother and father take out a $100,000 mortgage on their house to help you invest in your business. That's patient capital. They still want their money back. It may have come out of their retirement. It may come off a second mortgage. They still want and need their money back, but they're willing to be patient, right? Here's the problem with that. Many of us, and I'm gonna just speak for myself. I don't want to speak for y'all. And if you haven't shared the broadcast, make sure you share the broadcast because every woman under the sound of my voice needs to know how to get investment capital, how to get startup money for their business. Now, I'm gonna speak for myself. I didn't come from money. I'm gonna say that again for the cheap seats. I couldn't go to Granddad and get $50,000 to start my business. I couldn't go to my granddad and get $5,000 to start my business. My granddaddy at most may have had $500 worth of quarters. And I don't know if he'd have gave them to me to start no business. But many women, and I'm not just talking about Black, I'm talking about Caucasian. I'm talking about Hispanic. I'm talking about women in general. Most women don't have a circle around them that will invest in them like we invest in our circle. Hello? Can I just get one amen and one share the broadcast? Most women don't have people around us that will invest in us monetarily like we invest in them. We always buying somebody baby some shoes and clothes. We always showing up for somebody baby shower. We always invest in this and invest in this in human collateral. But when it comes time for us to receive the human collateral, it's not available. That's another reason me and my team are offering this financing opportunity to women, because I know everybody that I've paid their light bill, paid their water bill, kept their doors from being locked out. If I had that same problem tomorrow, I wouldn't have nobody to run to my rescue. Can I get an A and a man? Thank you, Joyce. If I had that same problem tomorrow, same light bill, same water bill, same rent, I would not be able to get any help. So with that being said, we created this financing of opportunity for women to be able to really, regardless as to their credit, because that's really not your testament as to an individual. And if you come on board and listen to what we have to say, you'll be able to repay your commitment. Go to bit.ly/fund me, the number 2, and get your application in, because here's your help. If you've been praying for the startup capital to get off your butt and start your business, here it is. Don't miss the opportunities. Thank you, Rose, for starting a watch party. And for the rest of you mentees who are starting watch parties and sharing the broadcast, thank you as well. So let's talk about venture capitalists. Think Shark Tank. I really could give you 2 words, Shark Tank. Venture capitalists are looking for technology and high growth potential sectors. They're looking for things that will go viral. Why? Because they expect their money back and then some. They expect a healthy return on the investment and even a portion of the business to get started. You've got options other than Shark Tank. Now, one of the good things about venture capitalists, if you can find one, is that they'll often serve as a partner to get your business off the ground, to get business, or they provide you with knowledge in growing the business. Imagine working with a Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and you have a product that's geared towards sports fans. You automatically have a leg up. Their funding typically starts anywhere from $250,000 to $1 million and up. But again, most venture capitalists, they gonna want some proof. They're gonna want proof of concept. They're gonna want proof that people will buy it. They're gonna ask you about your previous revenue. And if you've ever seen Shark Tank, a lot of them are just like banks. They want to see you making money before they'll give you money. So let's talk about angel investors. It's another form of revenue. And don't forget, guys, I'm going to be offering a book, 49 plus sources of revenue for for women startups just like yourself. So angel investors are a lot like venture capitalists, but their motives are different. And it's not just about money for them. A lot of angel investors, me personally, One of the things that I'm going to do when I retire next year is start a company where we do nothing but take women who have excellent ideas and excellent track records and provide them with the technology and the strategy they need to be successful. I'm going to make money in return, but it's typically angel investors are typically wealthy, retired individuals who are looking to remain active. And just because I leave doesn't mean I just want to sit down. So I want to participate in the growth of small businesses in the coaching arena or in the online business arena. Their funding typically ranges between $25,000 and $100,000. So that's quite a difference between that million for venture capitalists and that 25 to 100,000 for angel investors. But angel investors focus primarily on you as a startup in your first few years starting up. So you've got to understand that with an angel investor, although it's quite different than a venture capitalist, you still got to go find them. And that's where I want to pause for the cause real quick. I want to pause to talk about how all of these sources are great, but you still got to go find the money. If it's a venture capitalist, you've got to go find the money and pitch to them and get them to say, okay. If it's an angel investor, you got to find the investor, pitch to them, and get them to say, okay. So none of these avenues are without work. Can I get an amen? Because a lot of you are looking for free money and it just doesn't exist. It just doesn't. And until you get in your head that some of you already have everything you need in your hands to be successful and to make the money you need to grow your business, you won't know what you don't know. So that's kind of what I want you to take away from this, and to be mindful of the opportunities that you have to grow your business. And stop thinking everything is a risk or everything is not for you, especially when these opportunities are more often than not tax deductible, the money that you spend to invest in your business. So let's talk about business incubators. Has anybody ever heard of a business incubator? Good morning, Skincare Nashville. A business incubator is kind of like SCORE. Don't they have SCORE locally? A business incubator is a place where you can not only go and get advice, but you can also go and sometimes use their resources like staff, office space, laboratories, meeting rooms. These are the places you go. And let me tell you, you get again what you pay for. You get again what you pay for. So if you're going to a free business service like SCORE, many of them are retired business people, but did they retire from the internet? Did y'all catch that? Did they retire from online marketing and digital marketing? Because business now and business 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, totally different. So incubators are where you can get expert advice, Sometimes they'll give you small amounts like $5,000 and $10,000 for your startup. But again, guys, we have a financing opportunity up to $25,000 that includes your strategy and your technology. Make sure you go to bit.ly/fundme2. Get your application in so we can see what's right for you, whether it's one of our executive coaching, career coaching, business coaching, or life coaching certifications, as well as the opportunity to have your technology. You can't miss it. Low down payments, no payments to January, 180 days, same as cash, flexible credit. We really thought about women when we created this program. So make sure you use this program to grow your business. Let's talk about government and private grants. I went to a grant writing course, and I'm actually going to do a small grant writing course because it's I'm gonna do a small grant writing course. I'm not gonna say why, but I'm gonna do a small grant writing course so that you guys can realize that there's grant money out there. But then also I want you to know grants are sometimes very stringent and the competition is tough. And with the same time, energy, and effort, that here you are over here trying to build your business with a grant. You could have gotten financed, got your business launched, paid your financing back, and been on the road. Energy and effort is something you can't exchange, guys. So I just want you guys to be aware of the fact that if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I can just go and get a grant, it's just not that easy. I talked to somebody the other day who had gotten a rather sizable grant. And that grant was that with that grant, they had to do the work first, prove the work, and then get the grant back. They say that grant almost ran them to the crazy house. And you could see why it would. Because you had to do the work first. And then you had to get the money. So you're spending money and throwing money after money, throwing good money after bad, trying to get this grant money. So it's critical that before you put in for a grant, you know the stipulations. And also, a lot of those grants are tedious. There's a lot of I's you got to dot and a lot of T's you got to cross. Again, this webinar is about awareness. And when you're aware, things happen differently. So I want you to be aware and not miss the opportunities. But by all means, don't run down the street chasing the opportunity and miss out altogether. And then again, we already talked about bank loans. If you're going for a traditional bank is going to want to see a business plan, a solid business plan. What are they looking for? They're looking for proof that you're going to be able to pay them back. They're looking for proof that you have a marketing plan. That's how I'm going to get customers. You have a profit plan. That's how I'm going to make money. You have a board of directors, so it's not just you over there by yourself making up reports. The banks are going to want to know all your business. What's your baby daddy name? Where was he born? Do he pay his child support? They're going to want to know everything about your business before they give you the opportunity to even get approved. That's why I'm telling you guys that before you go out on a limb, I had a client that got approved for a $40,000 bank loan. And because she didn't have the strategy on how to spend that $48, that $48,000, that $40,000, she ended up literally losing the mass majority of that business. And guys, unfortunately, because we think we know it all sometimes, and we won't go get help, because we think we got it together, and we won't go get help because we think, oh, well, I do the best hair ever. This whole business game is not about your business acumen in your industry. It's about the opportunity to learn the industry of business. Just because you do great hair doesn't mean that you're a great business person. And until you sit still and learn the business of being in business, and it's like a college degree, guys, but more. And again, until you sit still and say, I'm going to learn what it takes to make my business profitable, a lot of these funding sources won't help you because they want to know. So again, guys, me and my team, we're excited to announce the opportunity for you to receive private funding from us. bit.ly/fundme2. I have a book coming out next week. Well, shoot, this week, really. 49 sources of for-profit grants and 49 sources of startup capital for women. Something for you guys who are not moving because you don't have the money to move. Here you go. bit.ly/fundme2. You can get approved for up to $25,000. We have flexible credit available, so your credit doesn't have to be perfect. We have low down payments. No payments until 2020. You can get immediate approval, 100 days, same as cash. And we include your technology built for you, private coaching available, multiple certifications such as life, business, executive, and career. The list goes on and on, but you got to go to bit.ly/fundme2. Fund me in the number 2. So guys, I hope, even though this webinar, it has some slight conjecture and some competing points, the bottom line is that anything you put your mind on will work. So if you walk away from here and you say, I'm going to put my mind on generating more revenue, it's going to work. If you say, I'm going to put my energy and effort into launching this brand, it's going to work. Going to get venture capitalists, it's going to work. But you got to realize that the key word in all of that is what? Work. And the Bible said, faith without works is a dead thing. So you don't want to be just sitting around because you don't know what to do. Get you the strategy to build your dreams to a mega level. So stop building free stuff. Stop doing stuff that's not going to free you. Before you say yes to anything from this point on, you need to ask, is that yes in direct correlation to my happiness, my goals, my hopes, my dreams, my neck, my back? Hey, I'm just saying, because too often we make decisions based on everybody else, and we don't make decisions based on what we want, what we need. We don't consult our 50-year-old self or our 70-year-old self. We just go out there and we make decisions. And those decisions cost us. So guys, I'm super excited about the many opportunities, super excited about my new books that are going to be released next week, 30 Days of Praise and Thanksgiving for Entrepreneurs, Digital Domination, which is a 12-month planner for you to plan all your social media posts with prompts on how to do that, as well as creating campaigns. Oh, I almost forgot about $1 Million You, which I haven't told anybody about that book yet. In addition to the 49 sources of profits of funding for for-profit businesses. So guys, let me get out of here. I got a ton of things to do today. If you want to be on the list to receive that Black Friday opportunity, go to bit.ly, the weekly win. But trust me, if you are anywhere near a computer on Black Friday, if you anywhere near a webinar on Black Friday, you're gonna see me, and you're not gonna miss the opportunity to really get these written books and really go to work in building your brand.